Greetings, friends. Steven here, and welcome to Gamer Hall. This is episode 46. Today's recording date is once again Saturday, December 19th, 2015. So, I just moved all the stuff off of the old demo couch here. I just shot the last episode, and I figured, hey, I still have a bunch more crap to go over, so we might as well do one more. I didn't want the episode to go on for too long, though, so I figured I would stop it there and record a fresh episode beyond that. So, here we go. Today's backdrop item, The $6 Million Man, a game by Parker Brothers. Now this... I mentioned this in the last episode, I'm going through a board game phase. Now this is interesting. Obviously these are always bought used, and whether or not they come with all the pieces is usually pretty hit or miss. Usually, well, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. This one is actually kind of neat. I thought I'd show this because it's got some of the pieces there, little mans you pick. But this is actually a bit of two of these board games. So it's got this said that was gonna need two. It's got the little spinner, so you don't need a dice or a die, and it's got some cards which are all just power cards with the $6 Million Man logo on the back. But as you can see here, there's actually pieces from two of these board games, not just one. So we've got two sets of spinners and cards. And put this on up the way. Get a little piece there. And it's actually got two boards, which are interesting because one is blue and one is green. But they're the same board. But they fold differently. So I just thought this was a kind of neat thing. Now this show is before my time, admittedly, but you know, it was just one of those days after work, and I was in a random thrift store, and I thought, yeah, that's kind of cool. Picked up that. I don't know why it's got pieces of this board game twice over, but you know, that's pretty neat, I guess. Figured it'd be fun to show that off. Once again, if people want me to go more in depth into board games, of course, YouTubers probably are all familiar with the Angry Video Game Nerd, and he does his own series called Board James. I'd love to be able to do something like that, but once again, I just don't have the time or the space. But I do want to be able to show these off a bit more than I have been. Four Bionic Men each claim to have Steve Austin's powers. Your job is to prove that you are the real $6 Million Man. Yeah, kind of cool. Once again, these aren't things that I spend lots of money on. This it's rare that I'll spend more than $5 on them. Now there's one board game I picked up a little while ago. I think I paid $20 or $30 or something for that. Now that, trust me, it's a video on its own. It's no Fireball Island, but it's pretty badass. So hopefully look forward to that. There we go. There's something there. Okay. Let's take a look at some blind boxes. So we've got two series here I'm going to take a look over. Once again, I've posted these on Twitter, but let's take a look here. First up, we have the Horror Classics Vinyl Figures Series 2 from Funko. This is by no means a complete case unboxing or a complete setup. There are people who do videos like that, and I don't spend that much for these. Once again, these are more impulse purchases after a long, boring day at work. So, let me see. Some of the favorites here, you get your Frankenstein, your Beetlejuice, Hellraiser, Shaun of the Dead, Edward Scissorhands, The Original Fly, Cthulhu, Nosferatu. So, I've got them off camera. We've got this one, Werewolf Guy. I believe this is from An American Werewolf in London, a movie I have not seen. Pretty cool figure though, pretty good size. That over there. I'm just keeping this so I can see which ones I do have in this series. This one has really hype to get is Stripe from Gremlins original. Obviously one of the smaller ones. Here's a pro tip. You can often tell, like, obviously Stripe here is going to be one of the smaller figures, so he'll definitely be lighter in the box versus one like this where you can definitely feel he's going to be heavier. So if you want one, you can tell that's a very small one or a very big one. It's kind of easy to tell. Otherwise, of course, these are always sealed, hence the blind box, so you never know which one you're getting. What else did I get in this series? Damn, I want that fly. I prefer the Brundlefly from the 80s movie, but I would definitely like the original one as well. Oh, there it is. Alfred Hitchcock. That's a pretty good one too. He's got his little crow there from, of course, the Birds movie. Good evening. And I think that's all the ones I have from this one. So 3 from the horror classics. And the other series I have here is Science Fiction Vinyl Figure Series 2. Some good ones in here too. Now, what I was just saying about the heaviness, like I could easily tell that the 2 I wanted the most were the heaviest ones. So, I'll bring out the Queen herself, Alien Queen. Excellent figure. Now these are actually like $10, maybe more after tax. So they're not the cheapest figures, but I mean, like one like this, like look at all the detail. Like it's got the tail and the ridges on the back and all this, like huge, awesome figure. So once again, you can tell, like Alien Queen and Godzilla, they're going to be some of the heavier ones, which is why I was easily able to find Godzilla. Like the very first 2 I bought were the heaviest ones, and I could tell, like the weight is there. So that's why I got Godzilla and Alien Queen, which are 2 of the ones I wanted the most, and they're pretty darn cool. Got a Cylon. Not big on the Cylons and the Battlestar Galactica, but you know, that's cool. And we got a Lilu from The Fifth Element. Great movie. In the last episode I was talking about some movies, sci-fi movies, and Fifth Element definitely one you should check it if you have not yet already. But how could you have not? Because it's such a cool movie. I always thought The Fifth Element kind of reminded me of if they were to make a Duke Nukem movie, I figured it'd be like The Fifth Element. Or maybe The Fifth Element was a bit like Duke Nukem 3D. And we got Doc Brown from Back to the Future. I always thought it was funny that he was able to get his hands on the plutonium at the start. Like, what? I'm sure there's a prequel movie to Doc Brown making his time machine. I wouldn't mind checking that out if they ever did such a thing. So, there you go. On this series, the one I was really trying to get was Voltron, aside from Alien Queen and Godzilla. Voltron would be very cool to have. And the Iron Giant would be pretty neat as well. I'm not a huge fan of Iron Giant myself, but there's such hype for it on the internet, it's kind of hard to not want it. And of course, you have Locutus of Borg, that'd be a fun one to get. And maybe even Neo. So, there you go. A whole bunch of Funkos littering my abode. Just set these up over under. Yep. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Alright. So, as we all know, retro gaming has become super popular, mostly thanks to YouTubers. And that makes the prices go up, which is unfortunate. So sometimes we have to find other things to collect, things that aren't quite so expensive. Well, one thing I started collecting randomly was soundtrack cassettes. Now, I found this the other day, and I thought it was pretty neat. It is a Radio Shack cassette holdy case thingy. I just thought it was cool because it's got the whole Radio Shack brand on the front and all that. It's a $2 item right there. I actually have some cassettes off camera just to give you an idea. Hey, we can talk about movies again. Amadeus, Chromium Dioxide, Amadeus original soundtrack. Excellent movie. I would recommend this for anyone out there who's done their own content creation and thought, well, that guy does good work, but I do good work too. And maybe if you get jealous of the work of others, and if you can appreciate talent, and you feel that others cannot, you might find some common ground on this one. It is the story of Amadeus Mozart, but it's also the story of another fellow named Salieri. Whether or not this is actually how it happened, I don't know for certain, but there you go. You got a Transformers soundtrack. This one's pretty cool. Featuring, of course, You Got the Touch, You Got the Power. Instruments of Destruction. That's kind of a fun song. When they kill off all the old Transformers to make room for the new ones. Unfortunately, this cassette itself is kind of worn away. Like, you can kind of make it out. It might not show up on the camera here, but you can see the original, like, there would be the track listing up there, but it's all worn away, but still pretty cool. Once again, cassettes, super cheap, like no one cares about them anymore, but And then they're fun to collect in like a weird, like NES cart kind of way. Here we have Pile Driver, the Wrestling Album 2, featuring random wrestling music. I don't know. Who doesn't love classic WWF? And finally, we have the Goonies soundtrack, of course, featuring music by Cyndi Lauper and more. So, yeah. I mean, I probably paid like $15 each for those, so and they're just kind of fun things to pick up when you're digging through a thrift store. There we go. Alrighty. Next up, something I picked up just today, actually. I was at my local London Drugs, and they had some clearance games. Now, I alluded to it in the last episode, and it's not this episode either, but the next episode, we're going to take a look at a whole episode's worth of stuff I picked up at the EB Games Deep Clearances sale. But to give you a sort of a sneak peek of that, you can check these out. PS3, Yaiba, Ninja Gaiden Z, Special Edition. This is a $5 game. New and sealed. For some reason, they put these stickers on there, which is pretty annoying. I guess it's a security thing, so they know he didn't steal it. Spoiler. Earth Defense Force is next. Okay, that's not so bad. This I'm pretty sure I own already, but the one I have is one of those EB Games Store copies, so it was gutted. This one is still sealed, so I might probably just trade out the other one. Let me just move these guys out of the way. Awesome figures, but I don't want to get them scuffed and... There you go. Yaiba. I've heard not so good things about Yaiba, but $5, whatever. And Earth Defense Force, very popular series, seems to be gaining popularity once again, mostly due to YouTubers. Earth Defense Force 2015. You're like, it's basically like Starship Troopers. You're like grunts shooting giant bugs. Kind of cool. $5. Fun random purchase. Next up we have some random Genesis games. Alright. Have you guys ever heard of this one? Sega Genesis Trampoline Terror by NCS or DreamWorks? Weird. Looks a bit puzzly, maybe a bit actiony. From space, a menacing fortress appears in the sky, surrounded a trampoline sidewalk armed with bombs and patrolled by enemy invaders. You, the trampoline terror, have the guts to fight back. Huh. Weird. It's complete. For some reason, the card is just black and white. And the book has a hole stamp. It might have been a video store. Book is super creased. But I didn't pay much for it. And this I actually just got for free along with it. Actually, I think I paid $10 for this, but I had a store coupon for $10. I was like, yeah, I guess that'll work. Just a weird random game I don't see too often, and it was complete, so whatever. Indiana Jones, or Young Indiana Jones rather. This is just empty. But I'm pretty sure I have the game already, so that I can put in here. The game doesn't look that bad. Looks almost looks a bit like the Super Star Wars series. And that new Star Wars movie just came out a day or two ago. Hadn't seen it. People really seem to like it though, so that's good. I guess I'm just not a big enough fan, or I just don't feel like going to movie theaters anymore. I never really did. Not too big on the theater scene. Just give me a second here. I'm just gonna clean up my mess, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. That looks a bit better, yeah. Alright, so this episode won't be as long as the last one, hopefully. But look forward to that next episode, because that'll be the one. But we got some more things to look through here. Once again, London Drugs. They were getting rid of a bunch of Transformers. This actually, it's not that new as far as pickups go, but it's just been in a bag for the longest time, and I never really got around to doing anything with it. The thing about toy collecting nowadays is that they're cool. Like I like the art and the figure design, but like, what do you do with toys anymore? It's fun to collect them, I guess, but then you need the space, and it's like, I guess I'm too old to play with them, so I don't know. I've got a ton of more recent TMNT figures, but they're all sealed as well. It's not that I want this thing sealed or anything, just like, I could open it, I guess, but it'll just get dusty. And anyways, Transformer Generation Armada Starscream. This Starscream design looks very different, very wide. That doesn't look half bad. I like the big turbine things. You can see how he looks there. It looks like a shmup ship. So that's pretty cool. These are normally crazy expensive, like 20, 25 bucks. Well, mostly 20 bucks average. But these actually got for 10 bucks each, as I recall. Actually, we have a receipt just off camera. Yeah, 10 bucks. I guess that's a pretty good deal. We have another seeker ship. This is Skywarp. I guess Thundercracker wasn't there. Thundercracker's arguably my favorite. This guy can teleport though, so I guess that's pretty cool. And he's got these crazy ass guns here. Yep. His ship doesn't look as logical though. Anyways, pretty cool. Actually, sticking with the Transformers theme, at our local Dollarama, they actually had some neat little mini Transformer figures, which I believe were originally blind boxes, but they also, I guess, make them visible boxes, whatever you'd call these. It's a really small Megatron. That's G1. They had like Megatron or original G1 Transformers. They had Transformers Prime. They had Transformers, the Michael Bay movies, all these different figures. Obviously some looked better than others, so I just got some of the G1 guys. We got, once again, Megatron. Very cool. $2.50 each, obviously, as the sticker says. We have a Soundwave. Who doesn't love Soundwave? The thing about Soundwave is that his head kind of reminds me of Optimus. He really kind of looks like Optimus sometimes. Just the head. Kind of tricky. Sometimes I'll see Soundwave's head and he'll look like Optimus, who is up here. I guess Optimus has the eyes and Soundwave has the shades on. Very similar helmets though. Cool. And of course we have Starscream. There's a little smirk on his face. Neat. Alright. You guys like posters? Want to see some posters? Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, the poster. I didn't buy this game, but EB just gets a ton of these random posters and things, so if you ask them, they usually just give you one. And of course we have the Happy Home Designer Amiibo Series 1 cards. I've stopped buying these. I've really cut back on the Amiibos. In fact, I've actually sold some of the rare ones in my collection. Just 20 bucks each. And yeah. Hopefully I'm not gonna be buying as many as I did in the past. And we got a Yokai Watch poster. Yokai Watch came out recently. It doesn't seem to be all that popular. Tons of merch coming out. Supposedly there's a cartoon as well, but I've never seen it on any channels. Looks cute, I guess. Battle system's kind of iffy. Yeah, free poster once again. And finally, I believe this is a Yarn Yoshi. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. Oh, it's all rolled up. You got the Poochie there, being ridden by Yarn Yoshi. Yoshi's Woolly World. Pretty adorable. Cool. Obviously not on my walls yet. I guess I'll maybe find a spot for them somewhere at some point. And alright, I guess we're just about done. Just had some Game Boy games to show off. We got a couple clamshell cases. I can always use more of those, that's for sure. We have Alone in the Dark, the New Nightmare on the Game Boy Color. Very impressive. I tried a bit of it. It runs pretty well. The original game was on the PS1. I would recommend the PS1 original. It's pretty impressive as well, but this one, for being on the freaking Game Boy Color, pretty neat. It's got similar to that original Resident Evil style camera angles, but when you go into battles, it goes into its own battle screen where it's kind of like a top-down shooter, I guess. But yeah, pretty good. Didn't spend much for this at all. Next up we have Superman on the original Nintendo Game Boy with Super Game Boy compatibility. Got this from a local shop. It was just random trade and it just had some Blu-rays and I didn't want anymore, so I was like, yeah, whatever. You can have these things for like $3 each, and I got this out of that. Not the best game, but I didn't have in the collection, and you know, it's cool, I guess. Superman game. Animaniacs on the original Game Boy, once again, the Super Game Boy compatibility. Haven't tried this one yet, but I do like Animaniacs. That's a show I might look into getting on DVD at some point. Unfortunately, it might not show, but it's not that bad, but the sticker's a bit, it could be better. But it's pretty good. None of these came with the clamshells, but I bought them all. Actually, if you guys saw the last episode, I was showing off those manuals at the end, and I got these clamshells along with the manuals. And just a few Game Boy Advance games. Super Ghouls and Ghosts for the GBA. Once again, shout out to I keep dropping stuff. Once again, shout out to J-Rock the Game Rocker, who loves his Ghouls and Ghosts, and to the Cartridge Club. They recently, that's a podcast and a website, they recently did a podcast episode on the Ghouls and Ghosts series, and I was actually on that one. So give a listen. I tried to mention as many different versions of Ghouls and Ghosts as I could on that show, and we had a fun time. We talked about this GBA cart, and this is definitely one to get if you don't have already, because it combines ghosts and goblins with ghouls and ghosts all in one cart, and it's got some new art and pretty impressive for like, man, GBA, what a great system to collect for. They're not that expensive right now, and these games are amazing. Excellent games on this system. God damn, so good. Speaking of games that aren't too expensive, this was surprisingly inexpensive. It is Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. I think this was like $10 or something. I've cleaned it up a bit, and it's great. Well, I'm not the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan, to be honest, but I tried a bit of this. It's interesting. There's like a combat involving cards, but not really. I think I paid, like I said, like $10 or something, which is pretty good, because normally Kingdom Hearts crap is like way up there, thanks to the fanboys and all that. Last episode we saw the manual for this, but it is Mega Man Battle Network 3, the white version. Trying a wee bit of this. I've got the Nintendo DS Lite, which is a great system for GBA games. I believe it was the last Game Boy system that could run these, but unfortunately the D-pad on most DS Lites is just so mushy that you can't really do diagonals. You can do ups, downs, lefts, rights like no problem, but diagonals are tricky. In this game, there's a whole lot of moving diagonally. So, oh. And finally, a game that was brought to my attention over on the LJN Defenders channel. It is Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith by Ubisoft. Very neat game. Once again, great game. It's got that Super Nintendo kind of feel to it. It's all like hand-drawn, two-dimensional beat-em-up side-scrolling. Very cool game. Oh yeah, Ubisoft also did the TMNT series on GBA, which are also excellent games. I definitely recommend those if I haven't shown them off in earlier gamer halls. So I'm thinking it must have been the same team that worked on this that also worked on those. Fun fact, turns out this Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith was also on the proper DS, and it has a few 3D flying scenes, which is kind of neat, but otherwise it's generally the exact same game, so it's also got the 2D art. So if you want to give this a shot, but you don't have a DS original for whatever reason, or a GBA, you can get the DS version of this, and it's generally the exact same thing, except with 3D flying sections. So, I guess that about does it for this episode. So everyone, thanks again for stopping by. Feel free to like, favorite, subscribe, blah 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 to the CatMax Gaming YouTube channel. Check me out on Twitch, CatMax_gaming, all one word. Check out my podcast, the CatMax Hypecast. That's over on Podomatic. If you have any requests for videos, stuff I've done in the past, or ideas for future episodes, just let me know in the comments. And yeah, that about does it. Everyone, have a good day. And happy hunting for your own swag. Because, man, this is a wild time collecting all this stuff. Finding space for it, that's a whole other matter. But anyways, have a good one. See you next time.